This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They give you the cure with the sickness. This is a war on tradition. This is a war on religion.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on. It's been a while. This is Patriot Nightcap, and I'm so thrilled right now. I'm on with my dear friend, Estee Palti. Welcome, Estee.
Hi, Tresha. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Patriot Nightcap. You are amongst friends, right, guys? This is a community of we support USA Made. We're toxin free. We align ourselves with conservative values.
As we speak.
As we speak. You will probably recognize my friend Estee as the hilarious Kamala Harris impersonator. She's been on Gutfeld, Tucker Carlson. You did an SNL down in Mar-Lago, right? You filmed that in Mar-Lago for the
yeah. It wasn't an SNL. Yeah, it was just for his Halloween party. I performed. We came in like we dressed up as the Biden administration. He loved it. Yeah, it was great.
Oh my God! And you met Trump, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
it was amazing.
You can find Estee on Instagram, on TikTok, Mommy RN88.
Yes, that's right.
Mommy. Okay. All right. So let's just get that. Let's get that. Okay. Estee, how are you doing? What is going on in your life? and what's up? How's New York?
New York sucks in what sense? It's still blue, but I'm seeing a lot more people just kind of more excited with Trump. They don't like what happened with this trial. Not all of them. Obviously, there's going to be some of the liberals in the streets. They're like, oh, he deserves this. But more or less, we really see what's going on. And I feel a lot of excitement, but also a lot of, we're kind of nervous. What's going to happen before election time? It's anyone's bet. It's anyone's guess. We kind of like understand now the second time around that things can really get crazy. So we're just trying to be patient, pray, hope. We understand that, we can't have 4 more years of this crap. We just really need to bring America back. America first, America values, close the border. Just, politically, I'm like this currently.
I think we're all like this. Anytime I need a good laugh, Estee, I always go to your Instagram and I just
thank you.
I really do. I mean, it is the best. Your Kamala Harris impersonations are flat out the best.
Thank you.
When did you know? I'm curious. When did you know, like, were you the class clown? When did you know growing up? Did you say, you know what? I have a gift. Like God's given me a comedic.
You know what? That's such a funny question. So did you ever see Slumdog Millionaire?
Yes.
So do you remember how he just always had these backflashes and everything that happened in his life led him to the answers of these questions?
Yeah.
So when I started TikTok, and it was genuinely out of boredom during the pandemic, first it was just lip syncing and all this stuff. But I do the lip syncing like immaculately, like just no mistakes, no nothing. And then when somebody told me that I sounded like Kamala Harris, for me, it was funny because every job that I ever had, whether it was, like waitressing, or I used to work in a bagel shop, I used to work at a doctor's office, whatever it was, I always found someone to mimic. And it didn't have to be like, it could have been a random thing that a patient would say, one of our doctors. And when I was a nurse at the hospital for 2 years, I remember one of my manager, she was leaving and we did a little party for her. And the nurses on the unit were like, listen, before she leaves, you got to do your thing, where I would make fun of like a couple of doctors, the way they worked. I mean, she was pissing herself on the floor. And before we knew it, we had like a couple of other people walk into the nurses' break room. And these people were just like, you need to be doing stand up. Like, this is like your thing. Yeah. And I've always kind of like, I've always been like funny. And I realized that maybe this is my true calling when I started TikTok, because when I was a nurse, I hated everything except the patient interaction. So it's like, I really wasn't a big fan of the nursing care. I did love it. I did it like out of, I loved helping people, but I probably had the most fun cheering those people up, making them okay with their situation, making them okay with their stay. Sometimes I'd even make fun of the doctor, like behind his back, for the patient to kind of like, laugh. Yes. And I've been told like, you probably do really well with peds, with the kids. Like, and I was like, I can't, it's too heartbreaking for me, but this is it. This is what I like. And somehow everything in my life just kind of like almost showed me that like, this is where you can also do okay. Right. And I don't know if it's where I belong. The industry is a little bit,
Well,
I'll be honest, it's not easy to get in this industry and to try to move up. There's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of crap.
yeah, yeah.
Like SNL, for example, they're never going to call me. Unfortunately, I have to just like sit here and bite the bullet.
This is such
So
a
that part
such
of
a
it makes me mad. Yeah.
this is such a sign of the times though. And I said to you
Yes.
right away when we started talking, I said the fact that you're not on SNL is just
Yeah.
it reveals everything, that
There's so many like podcasters that played
yeah,
my stuff, like Armstrong and Getty way back when I just started, like 2021. And they're like, oh my God, she would have been on SNL already
yeah.
if she was making fun of Republican candidates. So that part of it, like it bothers me that that's where we are. I come from communism and I recognize it immediately. So that's why I'm like, listen, I love this. I do think it's my calling to kind of like connect with people and make them laugh. But like you asked me, like, when did I realize this? This is like an inkling that I've always had. Like, this is something I can be good at also.
Mhm.
But my real passion, my real drive is to truly help people live healthier, myself included. Like I'm on my own health journey right now. I was just telling you before we like jumped on, I'm like running from yoga and
Yeah.
I love the wellness company. Like I replaced
Yeah.
everything from my house and
So
this wellness company has protein powder too. So like anything that I can get my hands on that's by them, I immediately already feel better about my purpose in this world, whether it's, helping somebody else know about it
So let's
or
talk about that. The
sure.
switch to America with Estee, because you are a huge voice over here for the mission. What does the mission mean? What does it mean to you? I mean, we're all about defunding the corporate criminals, banning Vanguard, banning, BlackRock, going toxic free. But you have really helped a lot of people in your audience. Like, what does switch to America with Estee mean to you?
For me, it really means just being more aware. I feel like as a nurse, I was stunned myself when I just working in the hospital. You're a brand new nurse, you're young, you're kind of just going through the motions. But as you get a little bit older and a little bit more experience comes your way, I just started noticing that there's just way too much toxicity everywhere, whether it's our medications. There's so many like side effects that these people have to suffer from, right? And then for them to be that sick in the first place, that young, you start asking yourself, like, why are we seeing such a crazy epidemic of all of this garbage? Like, why are we seeing this and why are we seeing that? And when I started really doing research, like, for example, I'll give you a big example. So many of my friends, of my girlfriends, now I had children very young. Thankfully, knock on wood, I didn't have these problems. So many of my young friends have endometriosis. This is unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
For it to be this common, and
Yeah,
for
I
people
know
to be like, oh
a
yeah,
lot
I
of
know
women
somebody
who
with it.
have
I
that.
have it. And I'm like, guys, that
Yeah,
is not a normal thing. Like you don't
right.
understand how, if you look at the statistics, the same thing can be said with vaccines. It used to be like this. It's like this now.
Yeah.
But those things have negative effects. So when you actually go down, so like we're seeing right now the level of toxicities here. What my message to people is, the deeper I started looking into it, like, wait a second, what are we eating? So now it gets over here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can eat healthy, right? But what are we putting on our body? Skin
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest organ on the body currently. Every
Right.
time you put on a lotion, every time you wash your body, but wait, does that mean that the clothes that touch your skin also, so your laundry detergent, all these things have hormone disruptors. All of these things have endocrine disruptors. All of these things have fragrance proven to disrupt your chemical balance, your homeostasis, your metabolism, everything. It is so bad. And, it's like a little poison in each thing, in each product. So it's a little bit here, a little bit there. When you start adding up toothpaste, hand wash, lotion,
Right.
makeup, fragrances in all of these things, okay? Then household products. When is your skin not touching poison is
Mhm.
what people should start asking themselves.
Right.
We are so like dumbed down into this, like, capitalism is great, but we are now at the extreme level where it's like buy more stuff with more fragrances, with more poison. We're given the choice of illusion when we walk into a Rite Aid or to a Costco or to a Walmart. They're all the same shit. My favorite thing to tell people, like the mouth rinse oil, right? I tell people and they're like, oh, well, I love my Listerine. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you know it used to be a floor cleaner? And then after that, when they
Right.
wanted to make money,
I
then they
forgot about
twisted.
that. Yes.
Yeah. Used to be antiseptic for the ground.
Yes, that's
Then
right.
they made it antiseptic in the hospitals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we are not supposed to be killing all of the bacteria in our mouth. There is such thing as good bacteria. Now, I'm sure people have heard about good flora, bad flora. There's bad bacteria and good bacteria. Why are we still using these things that are murdering the bacteria in our mouth, the good bacteria that actually is correlated directly with the heart? It's correlated directly with everything. You cannot do this continuously and use these products continuously and think that like, oh, everything is fine. We are all overstimulated because of these products. You know, sometimes like I feel like my mom used to say like, oh, I have a headache. And I'm like, Mom, look at all the shit that you have in your creams. Like you smell like fucking vanilla. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to curse here?
No, that's okay.
Like you smell like a vanilla cupcake. I walked into the house and it's like, it's ridiculous. It's not, even candles are bad. You cannot breathe in all this shit without having some kind of toxic, you know, aftermath. So I personally, you know, and I'm very open with my journey, with my story. The reason why this resonated so much with me when I found out that there is a better way. When my father got diagnosed with cancer, we had my mom get checked out because he got diagnosed. She got diagnosed with cancer, and they both got diagnosed with colon cancer. Colon cancer is something that starts from a polyp. It could have been easily prevented. Like losing my dad at 59 changed my life forever, because just listening from the doctor that this beautiful young man, you know, for me, young, 59 is young, but this beautiful man who just barely started living with 3 kids, was told that like this could have been prevented. It's your lifestyle choices that have led to this. It's not genetic. It's the food that you eat. And unfortunately, you never got colonoscopies, you never got checked out. But when I started looking around like my parents' pantry, like I'll never forget this nervous breakdown feeling that I had, like this overwhelming feeling of like, I knew this was poison. We know this is all bad. Why were we continuing to just like, you know, oh, okay, because we thought that there was a lack of alternatives. That's really the bottom line here.
Right.
When I was brought the switch movement and I saw, and at first I was very like, oh, this, you know, because we're so enticed with brands and how beautiful they have to look and how nice they have to smell. But my first box, which was in May, so it's exactly a year and a few weeks. But my first box, I have to say, like, I really gave it a chance. I smelled it. I used it. I wasn't crazy about every single product. I'll be dead honest with you. Like, not crazy about the deodorant, for example, but it is very hard to get a deodorant that's toxic free, that doesn't, you know, that you like. It just wasn't for me personally. But everything else, not one negative reaction, replaced it beautifully, still smells great. Just reading the ingredients made me feel better about myself. I noticed like less of the shakes, because I used to have a protein powder and like a protein bar, but they have so much sugar in them. So I noticed less shakes because I realized like this one right now, the whey protein, the ProFlex, no sugar and 30 grams per serving. So for me, the 60 grams, like this is everything for me to be able to drink without the additives, the preservatives, you know, anything that I know is like filler almost in the body. Like we don't need all this shit, but because of lobbyists, unfortunately, and people don't realize how powerful lobbying is, like legal crime in America. So without these lobbyists, we probably wouldn't have so much toxicity. But unfortunately, people need to understand that like we are genuinely being poisoned, and it's not that it's on purpose.
Estee, you just hit the nail on the head. It's a poisoning of America from our politics to what we consume. I mean, this really is good versus evil. Like on
it really is. And I was just on Nick DiPaolo's show, and we were talking about it, and he said, like, listen, I hate saying it like that, but it does feel like good versus evil now. And a lot more people are like, you know, they pull their kids out of public school. They're putting them into religious, secular schools. And I don't blame them, because they don't want their children absorbing all this negativity from the news, from the media. And even the food is different. So like, because you're paying a lot of money for these schools. So I know that the food in one of my son's schools is completely organic, but even still, I send them all home food. I'm not going to let them eat that garbage in public schools. Excuse me. Do you see what they freaking prison food? This is prison food.
I know. No, I know you do kosher, but just to add that this wellness store also has a meat.
Oh, you guys have a bunch of kosher products. I love it.
Clean beef, which I love, and I will say, having been to his ranch, they pray over their food. I said, okay, this guy is not out to kill us. You know, like it's toxin free. We're not paying these big celebrities and paying 60 cents or whatever on the dollar for, you know, the celebrity to talk about these products. So it's a no-brainer. It's like, it's the toxin.
It really is. I happened to gift the meat when I got meat. I did a kosher home, but I gifted it to my husband's coworker. She works for him. She loved it. I wish I had like a picture or a video. She FaceTimed us and she did a whole full-blown barbecue, and she was like, this is incredible, like quality. She was all about the quality. She's like, it's so soft. I didn't think it was going to come so fresh.
Yep. Clean, grass fed. We've got the never
She
ever.
loved it, and she became a customer for life. Like she was like,
Yes.
listen, where can I get this? And I said,
Oh
hey,
my God.
there is a way to actually get this, you know, they'll send it directly to you. And she
Yeah.
loves it.
Yeah.
She also told me that it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
She used to actually buy kosher for the cleanliness of the meat, not because that she's not a Jew, but my husband got her like into the clean aspect of kosher meat. And she was like, dude, this is cheaper than kosher meat. And I said,
Yeah.
absolutely. Kosher meat is very expensive. And I
Half
was like,
the price
regular
of-
meat is already expensive.
You know what, Estee? It's half the price of Omaha steaks, half the price of the BB bundle, and they don't have the never ever label. Never
And
any.
they don't have the mRNA label. And look at all the
Right.
shit that's coming out now about the mRNA. Look at how much of the propaganda now that like I feel kind of like a bitch that I want to do it so badly, but I want to walk around with a megaphone like, yeah, what did I say? Huh? 2 years ago. Like I want to walk around but at the same time, I'm heartbroken for the people that believe this bullshit, got vaccinated. We're told that mRNA technology was the same as a vaccine. It's not a vaccine. You cannot call mRNA technology a vaccine. Now all the truth is coming out. In fact, I don't know if you saw, I was just flabbergasted that Fauci admitted to making up social distancing guidelines.
I know, but I have to tell you, I use that to my advantage. Like when I see in 2020, it was like the line in the sand, and I said, okay, the crazy liberal Dems over there. I'm over here. I'm not running on a track with a face diaper or whatever. But they used to come up to me and like start yelling at me, and I'm like, 6 feet back, get 6 feet back.
Yeah. Listen, it's okay to
to
respect the social distancing, but to keep people from their dying family members
I
and
know,
say,
no,
oh,
no,
you
no,
have to do
no,
this,
no.
you have to do
It's
that,
sick.
mandating that shit,
I know.
unforgivable.
It's
But you
criminal.
know what? It's a lesson learned, and it was criminal, and it's a lesson learned, and that's why we can do better today. You
Yeah.
want to take these people out of power, you stop funding them.
Yeah.
It is a big movement. It's a big battle, but it is a big movement. That's what I wanted to say. And
Yeah.
not giving your money to these corporations is directly not giving your money to these lobbyists, to these big
Right.
time stores that don't care about our health. Costco,
See,
all
this-
these places, Walmart.
Yeah, this is an important point. How many people say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. What do I do in my community?" And I'm
This
like,
is what you do.
"This is
Add
what
it
you
up.
do."
All the money that
Folks.
you're spending at these places that you're spending
Take
for
it away.
poison.
Right.
Imagine look at it like a graph, you know, like a timeline. So you're spending money, you're spending more money. You're also, I'm so sorry, my somebody
No,
keeps
that's
calling.
okay.
Hope you're not losing me. You're spending all this money, right? You're doing yourself a disservice as you're spending it, and you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not able to put forth the money where your values are. You're putting them in the exact opposite side. So what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Get on the same track.
Align
If you're going to give
yourself.
exactly. So what can you do? It's not just going to the booth and voting once every 4 years. That is not our patriotic duty as Americans. Our duty is to remember what they put us through during times like that in 2020, to get informed, but also stay mentally sound, get healthy. Like we were talking about this before, Trisha. I was telling you how I personally started on my wellness journey with the wellness company, right? With this Make the Switch last year. It was very slow for me. I do things at my own pace. I didn't want to do it, I wanted it to be at my own pace. So first I focused on getting all the toxic garbage out of my house because I didn't want to make the mistake of, oh, I'm going to work out and be on a health fit journey, but my family's eating crap. The granola bars have like crap in them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I started like from foundations. Now that I got like down to the water filter, girl, like I went all the way, right?
I know.
Got pH water now in my house.
Oh, you went out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're good.
Completely out of control. One of my children, bear with me. And it's probably something like, Mom, I fell. Okay. So I started like that last year. Now I'm doing my own health and wellness journey, right? And I started yoga. Mental clarity is so important. It is so freaking important. And I can't tell you like how much better I have felt since taking all the trash and toxicity out of my system. But then also when I replenish and I know I'm not spending my money on garbage, I feel like everything I'm doing is it's in one track. It's completely one track. So now it's really a wellness journey because I'm doing it toxic free. It's with my own values. I feel better about where I'm putting my money.
Right. You're in
I'm
alignment
supporting this country. I'm not supporting freaking China.
Right.
I'm not supporting the people that don't have America first. You know, they're more concerned about telling me that I need to use a paper straw and drive a Prius while they're getting on a plane, you know, to like just go have like the crepes that they want in France for the night, like the Kim Kardashian thing that I saw recently. Jesus, my son doesn't get it. Sorry. Read the room, man. So, and that's what it is. That
You know, we even have new supplements that they came out with, Focus AP and a more advanced Luminex. And I have to say that's really made a difference for me. But I love that you're walking the walk and you're truly in alignment with yourself. And once you
oh
do
yeah.
that, you feel so much better. The whole switch to America with Estee has been a wonderful mission, and I really appreciate you getting behind it, Estee, and like believe and
Honestly, I
understanding
love it. It
and
transformed my life.
explaining it to people, you know, for
Yeah.
us in this community. I was watching Jesse Waters last night, and I was worried about you down in the subways. Like, I'm seriously worried about you in New York. Do you feel a little nervous? Like, tell me, I'm just kind of switching gears here a little bit.
It's okay. I do feel nervous all the time. I've made concessions to keep myself safe. I work remote. Sometimes we do have to go into the office. I would never set foot into the subway currently, especially with all the anti-Semitism that's rolling around. I'm proudly Jewish though. So, you know, for me, it's like, yes, I'm scared. Yes, I'm worried. And like someone like my mom will be like to me, you know, you have to be more fearful. Leaving is not an option for personal reasons. You know,
Yeah.
I just can't leave right now. I would love to, but you know, we have to stick out the fight. We have to fight the good fight. And I do see the tide turning a little bit, Trisha. Nobody wants to live like this. It's crime ridden, migrants all over the place. Nobody wants this at the end of the day.
I often wonder, like, what does the Upper West Side look like now? I know, because that's where I lived, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah. I mean, Upper West Side, Upper East Side, they always will look a little bit more cleanlier than the rest of the city. You know what I mean? Like cleaner, more, you know, upscale. The people take care of their own over there. The landlords, I know, like even the doormen. But it's different. The city changed. It's not what it used to be. It's dirtier. I hate the fact that I just see cops like walking around, like doing nothing now because they know that there's no point. They're going to put the handcuffs on someone, do a shit ton of paperwork, and then they're going to let them go. What's the point?
there's no
So
consequence.
there's no consequence. And I have a big fear. There was a couple of weeks ago where women were getting like punched in the face randomly. I told my bosses, like, listen, here's 3 articles. This happened this week. I will not be coming in anymore until this is not resolved. I'm not going to get punched in the face.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And I don't feel like I should be living in anxiety and fear walking down the street to my job. It's ridiculous what we are dealing with.
Completely ridiculous. My God, bring back Giuliani. What are we going to do? I don't know. It breaks my heart, honestly. I was in New York for 25 years. I wish we could have hung out.
I know. Next time.
I know. Well, okay. So listen, thank you so much, Estee, for coming.
Thank you for having me, Trisha.
And tell us what is next, like what's happening next for you, and where can my audience find you? Let's just go over that one more time.
So listen, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, aka X, MommyRN88, doing a bunch of shows. You know, I'm sticking it to the Kamala, to the Kamala forces, hopefully just getting a few more votes on our side, just showing them the ridiculousness of this administration. But, you know, everything is out in the future. We'll see what happens. I still have my hopes for SNL, only because, not because like, oh my God, SNL's so great. I just feel like that's the platform that I need to be on to expose this madness
100%.
for what it is. And I'm going to keep trying. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I know it's not because I'm not talented. Like I'm not conceited, but I know that this is where the next step for me would be. So I'm still holding out. I'm excited. You know, somebody over there.
You're like that for me. I feel like you're the beautiful lotus flower in this swampy, muddy, like crazy liberal, and you give us relief. 100%.
That's the laugh. Yeah.
We need to show some of your Kamala clips at the end. I love you. Thank you for coming on. And
I love you. And next time you come to New York, you better freaking call me.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? It's my mission.
You must.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know if you live with others, roommate, spouse, friends, whatever. When you do that cackle around other people, like how do they respond?
Sometimes they leave the room. It really depends on what team they're playing for, but for the most part, it turns heads for sure. I think I fine-tuned it down to get it to sound just like her.
Just for masochistic reasons, can you do one more time? That is so perfect.